Hello food fans, going to have some meat today. Going to have ground beef. Going to have a ground beef sandwich, not a hamburger, a ground beef sandwich. And we will have that on wheat bread. That's whole wheat bread right there. And what I'm going to do, this is 1 pound of ground beef, $3.77 at Kroger today. And I'm going to use about half of that, so I'll have an 8-ounce hamburger. It'll be about twice as big as a quarter pounder, and it will not be on a bun. And it will not have lettuce and tomato on it. It's going to have probably some mustard, and, maybe some relish, and maybe some ketchup on it. Also fry a potato, and about 1/7, 1/8 of this onion I'll also add to the mix. And maybe I'll have a secret dessert. So let's get started. And there's heat under the pan. I haven't put any oil or non-stick spray or anything in yet. Going to put in some of the ground beef, 1/2 of this package, and that's going to be one big sandwich, and it'll be twice as big as a quarter pounder. And this is 20% fat and 80% lean meat. So I'll put this in there and let it start cooking, and then later I'll add the onions and potato to it. I will flip this over right now. Half of the package. This is a 1/2 pound of meat. And we'll slide it back over this way. Now we're getting some grease there, which I'm going to use for frying the potato and the onions in just a little bit. I will slice up a little bit of this potato here right into the pan. I like fried potatoes even more than I like French fries. There's a lot you can do with a potato. You can mash it, you can boil it, you can fry it, you can bake it. You can eat it just as it is, and you can make potato pudding. Now I'll add a little bit of the onion. And let's put that right over here on the other side. And I like onions. Kids don't like onions as a rule, so if you don't want onions, don't have onions. And if you want onions and your kid doesn't want onions, then you can have more onions for yourself. Now I'll let that cook up for a while. I shall shuffle things around here a bit. Get potatoes on their other side. And flip the meat over. And it's starting to look pretty good. That's going to be a big, big, big ground beef sandwich. I'll probably put some of those onions on the sandwich and maybe even a fried potato on the sandwich. And we'll give it another flip here. There goes the big guy. And we'll put the potatoes. Fried potatoes are good for breakfast also. Good for a late night snack. And good for lunch. I'll let that cook for a little bit longer, and the other half of the meat that I put into the freezer, I will probably use that with the onion and mix up a big bowl of chili here sometime when the weather gets a little bit cooler, maybe in a week or two, and we have much of the ingredients already here. Well, this looks pretty good right here. Let me get the handle around this way. And we are going to have a secret dessert. And I've made the salad. I don't have tomatoes today, so I've got carrots, cabbage, and mayonnaise and relish and ketchup. And I'll take a nibble of that right about now. Let me get it here. I do have cabbage and carrots every day. I don't have beef every day. The fat that's on this beef, the 20% fat, 80% lean, the fat gives meat a lot of flavor, and you wouldn't want to eat it every single day, 3 times a day, because it might not agree with your arteries. But I don't eat a lot of meat. It might seem that way from my videos. By the way, I've got 1,315 videos up right now in my Feature Man channel. Getting some bread. Put the bread right down there. This will be one great big sandwich. Of ground beef. And some options. I'll put some relish and some mustard on for sure. Here's the relish. Put a little bit of that on the bread before we begin. And put a couple of onions up there onto the bread. Onions, I think, are very good for a person, and I think they especially help if you have a cold or flu. But I'm not a doctor, but I played one on TV. Potatoes are good. Now, let me get this over here and put the ketchup and mustard on the, shake the ketchup just in case there's any condensation inside. A little bit of ketchup. And same with the mustard, I always shake it so the condensation will mix with the mustard and not come out real wimpy. There we go, some mustard. Mustard, relish, and ketchup on that. Now we'll put some beef on that. I'd have to get a crane to pick that up so I can eat it. Have some more potatoes right here. Fried potatoes are so good. Parents, keep the kids away from the stove. Now, try a bite of the sandwich. This is a ground beef sandwich on bread. This is a delicious ground beef sandwich on bread. How does it compare to a Whopper? Mine is bigger. Mine has a more tender taste. It's very, very delicious.
And the onions add a good flavor to the sandwich too. Talk a little bit about numbers and show business. My appearances on TV shows and movies, I've worked more than 810 times in front of camera. Now that doesn't mean 810 days. On Dear John, any one episode I would count as a production. That would be 5 days of work as a rule. Holiday weeks would be 4 days. The pilot was 3 days. I would guess I've worked 2,500 different days on different shows in front of camera. That doesn't count the live shows. It doesn't count my recordings in a studio. It doesn't count my YouTube appearances. Root beer good, 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 root beer good. I've appeared on more than 145 different TV programs. A show like Quincy, I worked that, I think it was either 17 times or 15 times, 17 I think, on Quincy. 90 times plus the pilot on Dear John, 13 times on the Gong Show plus the pilot. So I did stay busy for many years in Hollywood, mostly doing extra work. This sandwich is so good. More salad. The salad is gone. Get some potatoes. I worked about 50 commercials. Commercials are what actors in Hollywood wants. Any actor in Hollywood wants to work as many commercials as possible. They pay more money per day than other jobs. But of course, if you get on a TV series, you're guaranteed a certain number of days every week, 5 days a week, unless there's a holiday, then 4 days. You might work a weekly rate, or you might work a daily rate. Movie stars, people who act in movies as characters in the movie, who are not the star of the movie, have to be very, very good at auditioning to make a living, because they might work one day on one movie, then next week there's nothing, and the following week they work 2 days on some movie, then they go a month without work. Lots of relish here on this. This is a big, thick ground beef sandwich. It is delicious. If you're in a fraternity or sorority or something and you are doing the cooking or choosing the food, try this sometime. Pretty easy to cook. I was very lucky in show business. I was never sick and unable to work for any reason. I was in the right place at the right time. Seriously, do try the ground beef sandwich. And it doesn't have to be small, like the 4-ounce quarter pounders. This is twice as big as a quarter pounder. And I got some ground beef left over to make chili. Prices are going up in the store. I was at Kroger today. Bought this, the ground beef. Meat prices are going up. Pasta, the boxes of spaghetti and macaroni, they're going up in price. The whole wheat bread goes good with ground beef. You could use white bread if you like that. Some of the items were gone from the grocer's shelves, I noticed today. There's only one item I was hunting for, and I could not find it. And that will be our dessert. And I'm reaching for dessert. It's very good. It was very low priced when they had it in stock. It cost 22 cents. This is a pudding cup. Oops. And this is the butterscotch flavor, which is very good. I know they also have chocolate and other flavors when they have it, but they did not have it today. The pudding shelf was empty. Pudding is good. It doesn't want to stay where I put it. I'll take the spoon out, take another bite. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for watching. I'm going to have some root beer. Thank you for watching.